ahead and start recording here.
Okay.
This is Larry Mullinex from Williamsburg, Iowa. And he used to work for Jess Dahl for how many years did you work for him? 7 years. Now he's moved back to Iowa to help his son in the concrete business, but Jess has requested him to come back and run a sprayer for him in the spring here of 2013. And we're riding today in the Apache with the new Ag Shield shielded spray boom, 120 foot. And Larry's just going to talk a little bit about it. He's got 50 years of experience under his belt, and the shielded spray boom, for him to come back from Iowa to run this new boom in Kansas, he's running every day. Today it's 71 degrees outside. What is today, March the 15th?
Yes.
March the 15th. And the wind's blowing about anywhere from 12 to 18 mile an hour, and we're spraying. What do you think of the shielded spray boom?
This is the best thing since popcorn. When you can virtually not let the weather dictate the days you can run, I mean, I can't imagine what the economic value of that is alone, let alone you get a consistent spray job. The boom itself is very durable, and this particular farmer has had these for 4 to 5 years. The life expectancy, I don't know what the life expectancy of the boom itself. The shields will eventually show some stubble wear, but I can't say enough good about the thing. I truly believe everybody, if you tried it once, you'd never be without one of these.
How many years have you been spraying with shielded spray boom, Larry?
I believe it's 5. And in 1 year's time, we'll spray pretty much the average 40 to 45,000 acres per year. So you might say we've got something in excess of 200,000 acres of experience with the shielded boom. We happen to go through Simpson's at Ransom for our sprayer supplies, but the Ag Shield people themselves have been super to deal with, but quite honestly, we just don't have any problems with the thing. And back to getting the consistency of the spray, not letting the weather dictate your timeliness, spray conditions. I can't say enough good about them, I guess.
Well, that's all well and good. Would you rather spray with conventional boom?
No. In fact, I wouldn't spray with
What if you came back from Iowa to spray in Kansas for the spring spraying season if you knew you were running a conventional boom?
It wouldn't be near this much fun. Back to, with the shield, we spray every day. The only days we don't spray are in extreme wind conditions, and I'm extreme being in probably in excess of 40 miles an hour. Or
why do you stop spraying then?
You have with the shields on there, unless you can get in the crosswind, and then you can spray then if you want, but it will actually flex the boom back. There'll be that much pull on the boom from the wind blowing against the shields. But if you can line your pattern up in a crosswind and turn out of the wind every time, I don't know how high you could run, what the wind could be. And the shield itself can be adjusted to within just mere inches of the ground surface. And I don't know anybody who's ever paid much attention to wind currents. You can get down against the ground itself and not have those extreme cross gusts bother, nearly like they would where your boom's suspended in the air, say 20, 30 inches or something. I guess that's probably, that in itself would sell the boom, I think.
So the shielded spray boom does cost a little bit more than the conventional spray boom. Do you think, how quickly does that extra cost pay for itself? First year, second year, first 6 months? What do you think? Third year, fourth year?
Arden, there are timeliness being everything, I suspect you'd get the first cost back the first year. I mean, and the size of acreages make some difference, but the return on this investment is almost
How's the ground following system on this boom?
it works awesome, and they've gone to where you can adjust the sensitivity here in the cab, and you can literally make that boom feather out there till there's virtually no ground pressure, and it's real sensitive, real responsive.
That switch is right over there.
Right, this here is my boom control right here. This is sensitivity dial, real user friendly. We've kind of put back here out of our way, out of our line of sight a little bit, but that's no problem. You don't. It's not something you're continually adjusting on. More, it's once you've dialed in the sensitivity for the day, you're pretty well set. Temperature variations make the sensitivity a little bit different any given day, but it's really, really simple to adjust. Trouble-free. I'm quite honestly, for as active as that control is on the back of this tractor, we've never had any trouble with the control boxes, and that's in, you know, like I say, in excess of 200,000 acres.
Right. You say pretty much problem-free. What is the worst problem you've had with this boom?
Well, human error.
Human error? Okay.
That boom is out there a long ways, and you know, if you smack a fence post, it's pretty hard on that end shield, but those things are so tough, it doesn't shatter them, or I mean, you might put a scar on it or put a little break in that plastic, but those things, honestly, in all those acres, we never replaced any shields. None.
And no sections of the boom?
No section, no boom sections. That boom, we've never even welded on the boom. That's how durable the iron skeleton of the boom is. The bogey wheels, like I say, this year we've got sensitivity so we can dial it in here in the cab. On the older ones where it was a physical mechanical adjustment, if you weren't real prudent about keeping that adjusted, those bogey wheels could take a little abuse, but there again, that's operator or human error or, you know, whatever. It's something you're responsible for, but now with this sensitivity gauge in the cab, that won't even be an issue anymore. And I mean, I really believe if people would just give this a try, you would never go back to a conventional boom.
So with 50 years of spraying experience, if you would have had this 20, 30 years ago, you would have been done over your acreage and doing something else.
Exactly.
And time is money.
Yeah,
And
more,
so
and it gets to be
start
more
talking
so
about the little bit extra cost of this boom. And that's why I asked the question, how quickly do you think it pays back for itself? And
it would be almost immediate. The other thing being, and I've had several family members and friends ask about, well, you can't see the tips. You have to see if there's a plug tip or not. And I don't advocate this, recommend it or anything. I recommend checking your, spray pattern once in a while. But when you can physically walk down that boom, you can see those tips. And you can actually, because this has happened to us, you could actually have a tip plugged up, and with the roiling action that is going on under that boom, you'll never know it. Never.
You've never seen a skip in
never
your field?
see a skip in your coverage of your crop. I can't imagine what that's worth to a person. And with that rolling action that's going on under there, you get better foliage coverage with your chemical, because the chemical not only is going down, but it's kind of coming up. It's almost like a vacuum, or I know there are booms out there that actually have a physical air system that to agitate the air. That you don't, on this you don't need that. You're accomplishing the same thing. And when we spray the air, that you don't, on this you don't need that. You're accomplishing the same thing. And when we spray the standing crops, you know, and we can just feather in over the canopy of the corn, the milo, the wheat, well, the fungicides, the herbicides, insecticides down through the foliage with the force of the boom. The wind's not interrupting your patterns. There just can't be enough good said about this boom. It is absolutely awesome.
So
it's
like
that good.
Today, we're spraying in 12 to 15, 16 mile an hour winds out of the west, and we were spraying east and west. When you pull out of this field, what you're fixing to do, you don't have any doubts on the spray coverage, the effectiveness of what you just put on the ground.
Exactly. There'll be, I would say you'd never find a spot where the wind patterns had bothered your spray pattern. The other thing being, we're going against the wind, we're going with the wind. In a normal boom, you'd have spray on the tractor, you'd have spray over in the neighbor's field. I mean, you don't have that with this. This tractor's sprayed probably 6,000 acres, brand new tractor. And the tractor, I mean, while it isn't spotless, it sprayed 6,000 acres in all sorts of wind conditions.
Have you washed them yet?
No, we have not.
Been washed.
We have not washed the tractor or the boom. That's 6,000 acres worth of work there. And I'll tell you that we'll spray 20,000 acres and probably not wash the tractor, not because it maybe doesn't need a little shining up, but because we don't have to. We have neighbors spraying in the same with conventional booms that you won't be able to tell what color the make or model of the tractor is because there'll be so much chemical and dirt on it. We don't have that trouble. And that goes back to the chemical now is where it needs to be. So, I mean, costs being what they are, and you know, you try to be effective with what you're doing and your time and effort you're putting into something. This boom is worth whatever it costs. And I would almost guarantee that once a person tried one, they would never go back to a conventional boom. They're that good. That idea is that good. So,
well, that's good to know, and it's I really appreciate the time. You got any closing remarks on this deal? I mean, I know you've covered a lot of it, and I appreciate your time and the wisdom of 50 years of spraying that you don't get without putting in the time. And where your time is valuable, you know, everybody else's is too. You know, time is money. So there you go.
There you go. And it's getting to be more so, Hardin. That's just the way the animal is. It's time's worth more and more to you all the time. So.
All righty. Well, I'm holding you up now, so I'll let you go, and I appreciate your time, Larry. Thank you.
You bet.